I did not have sexual relations with that woman.
Yes or no? Did you ever take banned substances to enhance your cycling performance?
Yes.
I had no prior knowledge of the planned assault on Nancy Kerrigan.
I am deeply sorry for my irresponsible and selfish behavior I engaged in.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to Oops Podcast. Giulio Gallerati, joined by my...
I'm only fucking around.
Sorry. Sorry. That was a good moment.
No, that was good.
All right, guys. Welcome back to Oops the Podcast. Giulio Gallerati, joined as ever by my loyal confidant, Ryan is very polite Lynch.
Thank you.
Who has the Yankee hat. Go Yanks if you're into that sort of thing. We also have with us today the host of Morning Footy, as well as the sort of founder and purveyor of Soccer Cooligans, as well as very funny stand-up comedian, Alexis Guerreros.
Thank you.
I was going to say Uruguayan and Cuban. Am I right about that?
You are, but I would probably go Cuban first because I grew up without my father.
Uruguayan.
Yeah.
Without his father, who is the Uruguayan half,
Yeah.
it's sounding like.
And when I talk Spanish, I sound Puerto Rican because I grew up in Newark.
Okay.
And it makes everyone in my family from Miami mad.
I also sound Puerto Rican when I speak Spanish because the only time I speak Spanish is when I'm singing Puerto Rican singers singing. And I've noticed I do this, even if it's a Colombian guy who doesn't pronounce it the same way, I still pronounce it the Puerto Rican way.
Yeah. So you got Caribbean Spanish in your brain now.
I do.
Yeah, you have like a deep knowledge of reggaeton.
I do.
There's a few people I speak reggaeton to, and one of them is you. And I don't know if your fans know that about you. Did you know that about him?
I know.
So
that.
they do, and they've always sort of known. But we recently, do you know Carlos Hernandez?
Of course.
So we recently did an episode with him, and
Sure.
you know, I'm always talking to him about this shit. So we sort of did a deep dive into all this, and so people do know, and they actually really like the episode. So definitely happy to talk about it whenever. I will see Alexis, and he'll usually have some new artists to put me on to, who ends up being a popular person. And the most recent one I can think of is Quevedo.
Yeah, Quevedo.
Who's a dirty Spaniard, technically.
Yeah.
Although
Las Palmas.
if you're from the Canary Islands, are you still considered to be a colonizer? Or
this is a conversation I have with a lot of people because that's where our accent comes from, which means those were the people on the boat, but they didn't own the boats. So who's really the colonizer?
So
those were the workers.
So they were sort of en route to the colonizers and ultimately were colonized. But now since they're technically part of the in crowd, they have sort of a better status on the totem pole of Latin A's.
Yeah, of course. But you found out the hard way, right? Because didn't you play like Rosalia at like a Venezuelan's party or something?
Maybe.
Yeah, and they were like, yo.
So it's funny. Okay, my friend is Venezuelan, and I think that's maybe what you're thinking about. You actually might be right. I might have just forgotten this. You have a fucking memory like an elephant, this guy.
If I look like one, I might as well remember that.
But he said that. He's like, I don't fuck with her. She's a colonizer.
Yeah, man.
I also no longer fuck with her because it seems like she did Rao dirty. In that
super
breakup.
dirty. And she just posted like a thirst trap with like his tattoo showing.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, she has a Raul tattoo below her left titty. And I think he
Interesting.
just got with another girl and started posting her. So
Interesting.
she posted a thirst trap with his
Interesting.
name tattooed.
Oh, I like that at least. But
Right.
so I remember.
Colonizing relationships now, damn.
Okay, so Raul Alejandro, big artist in the genre. Rosalia is sort of like a crossover artist, which never bothered me. She's such a great singer. Like,
She was like a flamenco
Yeah.
singer. Yeah, she's like wildly talented.
she's unbelievable.
Yeah.
She is fire on every single feature,
Yep.
pretty much with all
I'll give her
these
credit for that.
all these artists. She's done songs with everybody. She hasn't been doing it as much lately.
Who's like the American equivalent
American equivalent of what?
of Rosalia?
From a appropriation
Like super,
standpoint?
no, just like super talented, crushes every.
Chris Brown.
Yeah, because there's definitely some problems with my guy.
But
problem
yeah,
there.
but Chris Brown will pop on a song and rap for fun, and it's the best verse.
Yeah, didn't he get involved in a beef? He dropped a diss track like maybe a year ago, and it was hotter. I think it might have been Offset,
Interesting.
some Atlanta joint, and it was better than that dude could rap.
Right.
Like this is an R&B singer
he raps when he feels like it and is fully capable. He could drop a rap album, it would be fire.
That's when I believed he was he wasn't set tripping.
It was
Yeah,
against
right.
Quavo.
Quavo. I was
Quavo.
close.
Yeah.
Quavo's response was weak. How you lose to a singer?
It's
That's
tough
crazy.
It's tough out there. Repping the North Atlanta.
Could Rosalia's American equivalent be the one that Chris had beef with, relationship-wise? Miss Rihanna?
Ooh.
Could she be the comparable one?
But Rihanna wasn't like, I guess she was features for a minute. She would be the star of any feature she was in. So
It's
I can
not
see that
quite
tie.
the same
It's not.
because whatever feature she's doing isn't much of a departure from what she's already done. So
Yeah.
like she always was doing, she could do like a sick reggae song, obviously.
Right.
She did, pop songs and she was obviously
But she
gonna
was
be
Rihanna
R&B.
every time.
She was always Rihanna. Like Rosalia was like straight up doing like, whoa.
She could opera,
like crazy.
and she could like kind of like rap sing at the same
Right.
time. She could do it all.
And yeah, she could she had no problem with like throwing a little auto tune on her voice,
Yeah.
and dumbing down the like flamenco thing,
Right.
and just like being fire on a song.
Right. She went from like the opera house to the street, back to the opera house, back to the street. Like,
Right, from
that's
the like
range.
the this to the street, and,
Yeah.
and I have no problem with it because she was just so good. Now, the reason why this breakup upset me, first of all, they had a lot of good couples content when they did that 4-track EP together.
Right. That's when I knew it was over.
Really
Couples content, bro.
interesting.
It's done. It's a wrap.
So-
That's why me and wifey don't do anything. We've been together since we were teenagers. We're not. We'll do stories. We'll do. You know what I mean? We'll do the odd TikTok or reel. We're never gonna like start a show. or something.
Interesting.
Never.
Okay, well noted. As I kind of creep closer to that day for
Yeah.
myself, but Rosalia and Rao, they did this like amazing interview where they were like chit chatting and like asking each other questions. She seemed like a little cold hearted in that, where I'm like, this is a person who like turns to the right and like forgets everything that's happening on the left.
Yeah.
It gave off that vibe. Whatever. They
little
end up-
Hollywood shit.
Maybe they end up
Yeah.
breaking up, and the word on the street was that her team and whatever. This is all fucking complete hearsay. Like, there's no reason for me to think
Right.
any of this is true, but it feels true.
Right.
And this is what they were saying. She wanted to be more in the whole Hollywood thing, like mainstream, and Rao was holding her back because he's this like reggaeton artist or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And before you know it, she's dating Jeremy Allen White, which seemed like very fortuitous
Right.
and calculated. Then I started thinking about
like, cheaters
all her
unite.
friends, like Kendall Jenner.
Yeah.
And like, I'm like, oh, okay, is this her whole thing? Is she just like,
It seems like it's prime for her to link up with Bad Bunny because he's in that realm.
right?
He's
no.
broken through the reggaeton ceiling into mainstream.
And bless her heart, like she may not be like enough of a baddie.
No, she's
for our
not.
man.
She's nowhere near it.
And Rao is like, you could tell
She
Rao.
looks like an old timey painting.
yeah. She's kind of quirky looking. She
Yeah.
has that like primitive Spaniard look.
Right.
It works for her, and she's so talented and everything. She's so charming and cute.
Right,
like,
right.
Whatever. But like,
We're not face shaming.
and
Just saying.
Rao, you can tell is sort of like came up in like a pretty. He seems like a middle class kid.
Yeah, but he's closer to the caceria. He's closer to like the hood.
Carolina.
Yeah, he's closer.
Okay.
He's not near old San Juan. You know what I
Right.
mean?
He's not
more
Ñengo
Santurce.
Flow, but
No.
he is a
Yeah,
little.
He's not
okay.
young Chimi.
Right.
But he's not. Yeah, but he's not. He's not Rosalia's dad either.
Shout out to Young Chimmy, dude.
Yeah, young Chimi, bro.
Scary, dude.
Yeah, very much so.
But okay,
He
so
wears a shiesty to the bathroom. Just to give you an idea.
Shiesty?
Yeah.
Diablo era ni hueputa.
Yeah, what I tell you, bro, he's basically Puerto Rican.
He's good at tapping into
Glizzy
that.
gang,
He is,
money
bro.
way.
Yeah, Glizzy gang.
So anyway, that like bothered me a little bit, but I need to get over it because I don't know what the fuck actually happened. And I like Rosalie. And all I'll say, bro, I went to her show at Radio City.
Did you?
I did, and it was great. But there were in her like biggest songs, including La Noche a Noche, right? She did her verse from that. She was handing the microphone to the crowd, and it was just a bunch of like Gen Z, like gender fluid Americans who didn't
Right.
speak Spanish, and instead of singing along, we're just going, woo, oh my God. And I was like, yo, she doesn't have real fans like that.
No.
Rao could fucking sell out Barclays tomorrow, and everyone
Tomorrow.
would be singing every single song.
And there won't be
So
an
who's
Uber
bigger?
driver available that night because they're all at the concert. His audience is real.
People love him.
Yeah, she gives me like as much as I love the guy, Don Toliver.
Yeah.
I'm a massive Don Toliver fan. But remember, he was one of those names that came out that like everyone, like the record label was juicing his views and stuff.
Interesting.
And his record sales. Like I've
Interesting.
never met a Don Toliver fan outside of you just now.
So,
but I'm a
okay.
massive Don Toliver fan. But I have a feeling if he put on a concert, it would sell, but it would be like papered.
Okay, so
to steal a term from our industry.
agreed, but he just announced this huge tour where like Ski Mask is opening for him, which I never thought I would live in a world where Ski Mask was the opener for Don Toliver. In like 2018, you never, or 2017, you never would have thought.
No,
that,
what was it? Astro World. I first heard of Don Toliver on
Same.
Can't Say.
You can say.
Yeah. I thought he was 55 years old.
Yeah.
I thought this was someone that Travis admired and said, I'm gonna put you on a track because you ain't gonna get it otherwise. When I found out this dude's younger than Travis Scott,
Yes.
I was like, man, he got a soul to him.
Yes.
And that was it. I was a fan. Diva? Diva was a hit for me. 3 a.m., 2 a.m., something like that. All hits for me. But I'm like, I've never been able to have a Don Toliver conversation with anyone besides this sneaker store in Paris. I was rapping along to Diva, and the guy's like, you know Don Toliver?
Hilarious.
I was like, how do you know Don Toliver?
Hilarious.
And then we had this long conversation, and that was it. I think I bought a Sergio Tacchini jacket,
Nice.
100% bootleg, and it ripped
Hilarious.
before I left Paris.
Oh, I hate to say it. Well, dude, I think Don Toliver, it's interesting because to me, he's not like as much of an industry plant. And maybe I'm so wrong about that, but like, look at that rollout for Astroworld. And you know, if you guys, these are these references are stuff that you guys should be listening to. Astroworld is sort of peak Travis before he sort of got like tour canceled, which is like set him back a lot for sure.
Before he got Kardashian.
And even though Utopia was like it's a great album and it did well, like it wasn't the same as
The vibe's
Astroworld.
different.
It was a different vibe.
Yeah.
So there was a couple people that were being put on in that album, and big rappers tend to do this, but Sheck West was sort of one of them.
Yeah.
And he was amidst his rise, and
That
Don
was like
Toliver
right
was
before
another.
Mudboy came out, which flopped.
Mudboy's not a good album. We kind of learned that Sheck was a little one-dimensional. And here's Don Toliver. He sort of has this nasal voice. He kind of looks like KRS-One. He's not really a looker.
Yeah, he has like I've smoked cigars for 30 years kind of a voice.
Yeah. He has a weird voice. And like, he just wasn't the obvious guy. And to me, and I don't know this, but it must be a thing where he's just one of these like hands-on creative guys where even if he doesn't fit the mold, like he sticks around for one extra generation.
Studio rat.
And now he's a guy. Yes.
Like he's
like
going to
Yachty,
be in the room when hits are made.
Yachty's one of them.
Yeah.
Nav is one of them.
You think Nav is one of them?
Yeah.
I thought Nav had a run.
He did, but he's still like, people still are ready for his next drop.
Makes his own beats.
He makes good shit. He makes his own beats.
That's a huge
He sort of
plus.
is like comfortable in his own skin, and everybody fucks with him. So like whenever he drops, it's always fire.
Yeah.
And like, even though you're like, this is this Herbie guy, it's not, the output can sort of, the output can defeat the image if the image doesn't feel promising.
I've heard from some real Toronto goons that like, he's not, but his family is like for real.
Oh, right.
Which makes a lot of sense because the stuff he raps about, I'm like, that don't seem like you did it.
Wait, what does for real mean? Pretend I don't know what that means.
Just
Pretend.
picture what for real means.
Yeah. Like,
I don't know.
Well, you really don't know? It's such a
He's about it.
Yeah, he's like, when someone says like,
He's game?
when someone says
Perhaps.
like, yo, I got a guy for that, and you're like, he ain't got a guy for that. Like, he really would have a guy for that.
Got it.
You know what I mean?
He's like from the
but
hood.
that is like
Got
nefarious.
it. Got it.
And we don't have we have this image of sort of like in like South Asians, people who are from India, Pakistan,
Or
whatever,
just Canadians.
as being like Herbie. Well, that too. But like in Toronto, there's like, first of all, Toronto, like Canada just isn't as hard as America.
No, nowhere
So-
near it.
So there's a little bit more of a lane for some of these like first generation guys to like come up tough and like be kind of hard, and it
Yeah.
works for them. The same way
Right.
that like a white dude in the NBA is afraid of all the black dudes, but the guy from, Slovenia is not.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a similar
just
theme.
smoking cigarettes and not blinking at 12 because they were child soldiers.
Yes,
You know what I
exactly.
mean? Like, I'm not scared of anybody.
I'm not scared of anybody.
Yeah.
But dude, one of my favorite things on the internet, which I follow all these accounts, is like the Toronto Man's interviews.
Oh, dude.
Yo, bro, what's the worst neighborhood in Toronto?
Is Brampton fam, and like Mississauga fam, Roski. It's like that super,
Yo,
like it
all
goes
these
up like
youths,
that.
all these youths trying to act bad when you're good youths.
Yeah,
fam.
you're a good youth fam. I know you fam. I know you from day fam. They say shit like that.
Dude, you nailed it.
Yeah, thank you. I do listen to a lot of
I knew that.
super random Toronto hip hop.
Alexis knows everything, so you can make any reference, and he will have something to say.
This is
about
why
it.
you and I get along, though. You are also low key like a jack of a lot of trades.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
me and you can talk about 30,000 different subjects.
It's true.
And never get bored.
It's true.
Yeah,
It's
it's
true.
scary that you and I have anything in common, huh?
I know. All right, hot take. Tell me if you agree with this. I think that Argentinian sort of like reggaeton trap scene is the Canada of the Latin world, and that the artists are all mad corny.
Yeah, 100%. Was it Natalie? Natalie?
She had the bizarre rap.
She had the fucking. She
What
had
the fuck? Natalie Crew. Oh my God.
Palufo, not Palufo.
No, it's
She's
I'm
trying
looking
to
it
do like she had like the long nails, like the sweetie look to her, like that kind of vibe.
Yep.
But she does that like I don't rap on beat on purpose, but I think it's because you don't know how.
Right, and like they can Natalie Peluso.
Peluso, right? I was so close.
And they can spit, and like they're good at everything the way the Canadians
you got
are.
the bars,
but it's just for some reason it's corny.
Yeah, no, I don't really mess with you.
Yeah, so
you're more of a Juanes type of vibe out there in Argentina.
Dude, totally.
You're more rock.
Yeah, and also definitely, and
Yeah.
like I've noticed that too. The further you start getting down there, it starts getting like grungy and rocky.
Yeah.
And like, but they like on the bizarre rap thing. He's from Argentina. He's kind of corny too, but he's just so good that like.
Yeah. Oh, you mean Bisa rap?
Yeah.
Okay, bizarre rap. That makes sense.
I'm not gonna go Bisa rap. I can't. I'm not at that
Honestly,
level yet.
You can. Normally you would.
I can't be like Quevedo. Yeah. Like, it would just be so.
You
corny.
just fucking did it.
I know, but I'm saying what I could do, but I don't.
Yeah, Bisa rap. Though, I like the vibe of like the Latino thing of like, I'm not going to try to do what you do. I'm going to kind of do something similar. And it's our version, like what Fire in the Booth, you know, like when Flex was having people up to rap on the radar now. It's like, what would you do for Latin America?
Exactly.
But and Bisa rap showed that like, yo, you do that. We're talking like 400 million views.
Dude.
Easy.
Easy, if not more. Like
on a
billion.
regular. Yeah, on a regular.
Yeah. So if you guys don't know this, you should check it out. It's this thing. Bisa rap.
Yeah, Bisa rap.
It's this Argentine guy. He basically like they record a track together.
Shaved head,
He's
all
cool
white,
looking,
very
sorta.
pale.
And they'll do like a track together, and then they kind of perform it, but it's like you can tell the track's already been
Clearly
laid down
lip-sync,
in the studio, and they managed to kind of like recreate it. He's probably on episode 50 by now, and it started with all like Argentine artists, and then it started getting into more of the mainstream artists. I believe that the next time Bad Bunny drops, he's going to do one.
I hope so.
And it's going to break the internet.
Yeah, I mean, as much as I don't mess with Anuel anymore because he did a rally. Yeah. I can't.
I forgive him.
I can't.
The hood loves Trump, bro. It's fine.
No, I can't do it. I'm sorry. I'll hold it against you. Him and Nicky Jam, dead to me.
Anuel, Nicky Jam, a couple of these other guys
J
have
Balvin.
have been to Trump rallies and are like, but bro, they love the like strongman leader of these people.
Yeah,
Which is why are Trump supporters afraid of migrants when they're all just going to turn into Trump supporters eventually?
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's so silly.
The fact
Let
that
them all
y'all
in.
don't realize Latinos are like wildly conservative.
They love Trump.
They just hate the fact you want to kick them out of the country. If you let them in this country, they'd all vote for them. It's ridiculous.
After a generation.
Yeah, this is why I don't get invited to Thanksgiving anymore because I'm the other side. My family's
The Anuel one's great.
Yeah,
It's actually underappreciated.
100%. To me, I'm like, that's a better example than most of the other ones, which are just kind of like a track. His was like, I'm actually going to say something here.
His was fire.
Yeah.
There's other good. Young Miko is really good.
Young Miko's great.
That
Dude, I'm
one's
trying to get her
crazy.
on Cooligans so bad. She played professional soccer.
Did she really?
Yeah, dude. A Puerto Rican who played professional soccer. Now one of the biggest reggaeton artists.
Oh, and she's great.
She's
She's
great.
grown as an artist too. Like she used to just like have trap, like
Yeah.
shit that was like one dimensional. And now she can, her pop songs are good. Her
Yeah,
most
she's an
recent album
artist
is
now.
amazing. She's
Back then
great.
she was a rapper. Now she's an artist.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The
she's
Nicki
cool.
Jam one's good too.
Ugh, I
No,
can't do
you don't
it.
like
The
him.
one I hate is Residente, which was like, remember he held the bat.
Yeah, it doesn't work for him.
I
He's too
do-
like political.
One of the things I
and,
hate,
like-
I don't know how you feel about this. Music that's like trying to send a message. Bro, that's a poem.
Yeah, it depends. Like I'm fine with it, but like that's not why I'm there. If that makes
Yeah.
sense, which you should know by the fact that the only music I listen to, I don't understand.
Yeah.
I'm a vibes
Yeah.
guy.
Vibe is so important.
I like the
if
flow.
if you're trying to like pontificate, if you're trying to preach to me in a song, I'm not listening to your soliloquy, dog.
Yeah.
Like me and Christian, we have almost the similar taste in music. Residente is the one where I'm like, you're not allowed to put this on when I'm in the car. And then you pick and I won't do it
Hilarious,
either. You
hilarious.
grab one or two that you hate and I won't do it.
That's fair.
I just can't. It was like, I'm like, stop talking to me, bro.
The only thing I'll say is that
Incriminate yourself.
he's always done that.
Yeah, he has.
So I'll give him that, or even like Calle 13.
Yeah, that old
Same
crew,
type of
yeah.
vibe, that kind of like unk vibe.
Yeah, backpack rap.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah.
I don't want this.
I'm not, but I don't know what the fuck they're saying anyway. But I don't like that sort of like I love '90s hip hop, but I don't want new '90s hip hop if that makes sense. So
Exactly.
I don't need that kind of.
I got my fill of it. I already know who to go to for that.
Yeah, I'm even done. I believe it seems to me like hip hop is starting to, and maybe it's just because of me, but it feels like It just is a little teeny tiny bit less pervasive than it was with this whole like Atlanta scene. It doesn't feel as popular as it was before.
No, I think you're 100% right. There was just an artist recently who said like, yo, the rap game over. Like they're only signing reggaeton and Afro beats artists right now.
Yeah, the Afrobeat seems to be
Afro beats and I guess like High Life and
oh
stuff.
no
from
no
Ghana.
oh no no oh,
Yo,
no, no.
that stuff is killing, bro.
Yeah.
I was supposed to interview Burna Boy in Istanbul.
No way.
And he completely bailed on the interview, which had a bunch of great questions.
I love Burna Boy.
So Burna Boy, I'm like, yo, come on. And he just completely skipped out on the interview, left us all hanging. There was a bunch of us at the stadium waiting to interview him. But I'm like, bro, this would have been a good moment because you know that music is on the rise. This was last year, not last year, the year before his Champions League final. I'm like, bro, you know that shit would have hit because so many Americans are starting to listen to this now.
You know that song Taliban's too? Have you ever
Of
heard?
course.
I remember last Christmas, Santa Claus,
Yo.
with the feeling with every star.
There's one, oh God, he had a song called Quaker the Traveler, Black Sheriff.
I don't know.
That's
that
the
one.
wait, dude. I'm
Alright.
telling you, I'm putting you on,
Alright.
bro.
I'm putting
It's
it down.
crazy.
I trust Alexis's recommendation. I see Lynch soaking it all in. But one thing that's funny, if we're like standing outside the stand and there's a line for a show, if it's all black people, I know it's like that kind of music.
Yeah.
If it's a hip hop show, it's all white people.
Oh, because the Gramercy Theater's right there.
That I'm saying, if it's that line, I'm like,
Yeah.
what dope? And actually, I forget who it was most recently, and I looked this guy up. I'd never heard of him, and he had
This
like
was the one at the
18
party.
million followers.
Elmily or something like that. Alchemy, at Paul's party, there was a long line.
Oh,
around.
but that wasn't for that one. This is like a year ago or something. But some guy I had never heard of, and he had 18 million followers, and I looked him up, and it was like that same.
there was a line of people who wear like
Black Sheriff.
Converse sneakers tied really tight. You feel me? You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
With the white laces.
I do.
And I'm looking at it just in case. I don't want to.
I'm writing this down.
And I was like, "What are y'all here for?" And they said some like rock band I've never heard of.
interesting,
And I was like, "Yeah, that's
interesting.
what I thought." This looks like people waiting for Impractical Jokers. You know what I mean?
Is the white lace Converse thing really a thing?
Super tight.
Some Gen Z shit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not just Gen Z is like that white, kind of maybe a little angry at your parents still.
Okay. I love my parents, but I triple knot the laces. I was like, what does that mean?
It's just it's like a typical guy. It's like either you're a little punk or like you're like you lived a good life and you like music that's a little angry but not too angry.
Gotcha.
Got good melody. Where'd you grow up?
In the suburbs of New Jersey.
Ah, okay.
I'm trying really hard here to like
pork roll or Taylor ham?
Taylor ham.
North.
Yeah.
Okay.
What does that mean?
I'm from Newark.
What's pork roll or
Yeah.
Taylor ham?
So there's no people will say Central Jersey. It's not a real thing. The actual line between North and South is whether you call the same meat product Taylor ham, which is the brand name, or pork roll, which is the I guess the
Conversation I can
category.
get behind.
You knew
Yeah,
about
here we
this?
go. He's in. And we're in.
When you guys having such like an amazing conversation about this stuff, and I'm trying so hard to tap into this world, and I just don't get it. It's like a foreign exchange student being brought to America and just listening to people talk about the World Series.
Right.
Like
Like
just like Yankees in 7, Yankees in 6, Yankees in 7, Dodgers in 4. And I'm trying. I'm like number. That's a number.
Nicky Jam,
Backpack
Manuel.
rap.
Yeah, he was like
Backpack rap.
hopscotch. I'm gonna get it.
You said backpack rap, and then I was like, "Is there a chance to insert Tyler the Creator into the conversation?
love
Is there
Tyler
room
the
for him?
Creator.
He's dropping an album next week.
I'm super excited. His vision is crazy. We're all gonna be talking about him in like 30 years. About like, yo, I was there when he started.
Well, it just goes to show also that like the rapping itself, if you even want to call it that, is not always the most important skill because anybody can rap.
It's the full package.
But if you look at like a Kanye who can rap and like, but you know, no one's ever really thought of him as like the most lyrically.
it's not the top of it. It's not top of the list.
It's not the top of his skill set, but it's not the most important part,
No.
the most important piece. And being a visionary is so important. And these guys like Tyler and Kanye, like they're really good. They're like fans of stuff, and they're able to kind of like navigate through the different generations and
Like
put out
Pharrell.
fire.
They can
Vultures 2
bridge-
is fire, bro.
They
I'm
can
sorry.
bridge gaps between cultures, which
Yes,
is crazy
yes.
to me. Pharrell,
Another
I think
good
is
example.
is a good example of that. Like, I was never a fan of any music that had like guitars being played in it. You know, actually, there's one band that I got really into when I was young. It's called Glassjaw. I don't know if anyone's ever heard of it. It's like yelling. There's a lot of yelling. I was like, oh, this is actually a good song. And then I kind of messed with the album, and then that fell back out, went back, and I stayed with hip hop throughout all of it. But whatever, never really touched that genre again. That said, Pharrell seems like he can kind of bridge that gap. Like he would be able to make a non-Glassjaw fan
Totally.
mess with some of the melodies.
Totally. He can like steal the pieces that make sense.
Yeah.
Not even steal, just incorporate them.
Exactly. Great.
And yeah, Kanye. So this is one gripe that I have with Kanye, besides a million other ones. But when it comes, if we were just to take,
the anti-Semitism is the first on my
if we were to
list.
take his
Not a fan.
persona out of it, completely take his persona out of it.
Yeah.
When I download a Kanye album, like a new one, he constantly re-uploads the tracks. So like on your playlist, the songs go away. And then your phone's confused. So you have to like delete it from the playlist, delete it from your thing, re-download it, and it still might not work. So the only way you can listen to it is by going to the album itself and shuffling. You can't incorporate it into your own shit.
Really?
That's my problem. So Vultures 2, half the album's gone, but then it's back because he changed stuff, which I respect about him. That's cool, but it's frustrating as a listener.
Yeah, this is clearly someone who needs to get his meds straight. You know what I mean? Because it's like, you put it out, you're trying to acquire as many views on that now. Like you don't want to mess with it. But I think he did that with what was it? Father Hold My Hand or whatever.
Yeah, with all of it.
Yeah, he like changed the drum line a little bit.
And Famous. He also changed Famous too.
Really?
I think that was one of the first times on streaming that an artist took down the song and then re-uploaded it. And
The only
even though
time I've
people
ever
knew
seen
that
that-
you could even do that.
I only saw that because like if people were fighting for the rights. Like a label
Yes,
owned it.
yes, totally.
Like I'd click on it and it'd be grayed out on Spotify. I'm like, what is going on?
I hate that.
I
Yeah.
get so frustrated.
So and it makes me short circuit because like I've arranged it all perfectly.
Confusing.
So
I
then if a
prepared
song
myself
doesn't
for the
work,
song.
I no longer want to listen to music.
Yeah, I prepare myself for this vibe.
Yeah.
Or I told someone, I'll wait till you hear this. I do that a lot. And then
Yeah,
I
right,
click
right,
on
right.
it and nothing happens.
Now your
yeah.
word means nothing.
Well, let me go to
Now I
YouTube
look like I
real
don't pay
quick.
my cell phone bill. You know what I mean? I'm like, it's crazy.
Isn't
YouTube
Kanye trying to
taking a-
drop one of those Backstreet Boys songs
Really? I don't know.
in one of the Vulture albums as a sample? But
Oh,
then he
yeah.
got a ton of clearance
He
issues.
never asked for permission.
Yeah.
Isn't it? They're famous. Like I want it that way.
Yeah. It's like a classic.
It's everybody.
Oh, that's what it was.
And then it's like, he's got the Sunday Service Squad singing that.
Remember when he was doing Good Fridays?
Yeah, it was crazy.
What's
Every
that?
Friday,
Sunday service.
every Sunday service, but he did it on Friday. Good Friday, good music was him, John Legend, Common. Was Twista? Was it? There was like
Sean.
Yes,
I
there
saw
was like
Bieber do it once with him.
Oh, but this is different than
that, but
Sunday
that's
service?
Sunday service. That was more like religious type
Okay.
stuff.
This is before that.
Yeah,
this is
before
what,
that.
Oh, man. The
This
Good
was
Music
Good
era
Fridays.
was amazing.
So he had a rap label called or
Mercy.
a music label called Good Music, right? And there was like the first time we ever heard John Legend was all that. So he like picked all these like musically
2
inclined
Chainz.
people, 2 Chainz, and they would do like collab songs or like individual songs every Friday. And it was called Good Friday. And you just knew every Friday for like a solid maybe 6 months,
Whoa.
Kanye and his friends were going to drop new music. It changed everything.
Yeah. Was Don't Like remix was part of that, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And also, which is amazing. And also that era, like Mercy, the Mercy verse put 2 Chainz on.
Yeah,
It
100%.
made him into what he is.
Yeah, because what was
Nicki
he?
Minaj was
Titty Boy
involved.
before that.
Yeah, and he was also in that Duffel Bag Boy
That was
shit.
the greatest.
Yeah, amazing.
That was what a song.
Great song.
Is this music online under like different aliases?
No,
Alien?
no, he was in like a
No.
group. But yeah, he had a different name. But like a lot of these guys, when they had different names, their music isn't like around anymore. Or like Future being Meathead. I
Yeah,
don't
no,
think you can
no
find
one,
any of that.
no one. But like, so 2 Chainz, we all know 2 Chainz love 2 Chainz now. When he was just like doing street rap, he was known as Titty Boy, and that's not. You're not going double platinum as Titty Boy. You know what I
Not
mean?
the MTV
Yeah.
Awards being introduced as Titty Boy.
Titty
No.
Boy.
Nah, it's just not happening.
Give it up for
so
Titty Boy.
2 Chainz became like, now everybody likes you. Martha Stewart wants to stand next to you. Titty Boy, it's like a very you're like not moving.
Yeah.
We've seen people like that in comedy who are like have like a defined
It's tough to change
character,
the name.
and you're like, you gotta move past that.
Yeah,
you
yeah,
gotta,
yeah.
There's a reason why there's no more
true.
rungs on your ladder. You know what I
Right,
mean?
right.
You
Totally.
stopping yourself.
Totally. Yeah, and more often than not, we probably don't hear that story because people don't change.
Yeah, they
So
don't
you never
change.
hear about them.
Yeah, they just end up doing this one thing forever, like middling on the road or something.
Do you know about the Drunken Love Future thing?
He wrote it first, right?
Dude, so
Did
not
he
only-
play it on stage?
Okay, so I don't know, but I heard the interview about it. So basically, like Future recorded this song. It's Drunken Love, which you all know, but Future, It was Future's song. So he went in the studio with whoever that producer was, laid it down, whatever, and then they sort of like never put it out. And I guess what ended up happening is Beyonce came in the studio with the same producer, and she's like, all right, what stuff do you have? Because a lot of time these big artists, they'll be like reference tracks that people make so that then they can take it and make it something
And
else.
Future was at reference track level at that point.
Future was like big at that point.
Was he?
No,
when he made that song?
Yeah, that song. Well, I mean, I don't know. Actually, maybe it wasn't. He isn't what he is now, but he was like. I think Monster was out. Like he was already big.
Yeah.
He was like doing Metro Boomin shit.
Yeah, it wasn't
I
like DSP.
I don't know for sure.
Dirty Sprite 1.
No, I think it was like. Yeah, I think it was like post like Chosen One.
Tony Montana,
and
probably post
Bugatti, after all that stuff had already come out. So if you look it up on YouTube, there is a Future version of Drunken Love that's his song, and it's crazy to hear him be like, I woke up in the kitchen and said, how the hell? Like, but it's him singing it.
It's him.
And he didn't know until he heard the song on the radio, and he was like, what the fuck? But like, it was one of those things where it was like, I don't know, but I just thought that was like fascinating and makes sense to me.
That's what Drake did to that Dram dude with
Really?
Hotline Bling.
Oh, interesting.
Hotline Bling was, when I first heard it, and Dram tried
But
to...
did he steal it?
No, it was legit. When it came out, it was a remix to Dram's song.
Okay.
So Dram still had a part. He did this with this London kid named Dave. Santan Dave, who just came out with an album with Central C.
Yeah.
All right,
So
so...
freestyle's fire.
Bro, oh my God. So Dave came out with a song called Wanna Know. First British
remember
rap
that.
track I ever remember really caring about. And that opened the doors for me listening to like a lot of UK hip hop. But it was a song called Wanna Know. Drake was not in it. It was a dope track. All of a sudden, Drake puts out the same version as a remix, and Drake is in the regular parts, and it's only Dave doing the hook. And then I think Dave has like 8 bars at the end. So I was like, holy shit, I can't believe this guy just got a remix with Drake. And it wasn't. He ended up going on some interview saying like, bro, no one asked me permission. Drake just jumped on my track. But this is when no one knew Dave. Dave was like a YouTube artist.
Right.
So he was like, I'm happy it happened,
Right.
but no one told me. Bro, so he started doing this with a lot of music. Drake would do a remix with someone.
But that would
And
like
then-
make their career.
But then he'd give him a deal. He did this to I Love McConan. Remember?
Yeah,
Club
Block Boy
Going Up with
JB.
it? Yep. So he would give you an album deal, right? Like, all right, you're gonna join OVO, you're gonna get a record deal. All the music you've made up to this point is mine. I pick which one I like, I'll redo it, and I'll put it out as a new track. From now on, any music you make comes to me first. If I don't like it, you can put it out. So some artists signed it, some didn't, right? And it used to be if you signed it, you kind of got screwed. You couldn't put out any music for like a few years. And I think
That's a tale as old as time in hip hop, though.
Oh, yeah,
You
it's
get
like
shelved.
Motown.
Everybody. It happened with Exhibit and
Yeah,
Dr. Dre.
everybody.
It happens.
Yeah. So Drake tried to do that to Dram. Dram said no. So technically, like, I want my money for that. So Drake goes, all right, you owe me money for the feature. Even though I you didn't ask for it, I gave you a feature. I made your song hot. You owe me whatever it is, $150,000. He didn't have it. So I don't know. At some point, Drake just decided now it's my song. Had his producers kind of remake the beat a little bit, and then he just finished the remix version.
Interesting.
And he only proposed that to Dram after it became a hit.
After it became a massive
That's
hit.
weird.
Because, okay, so the only thing I'll say, like, people love to come at Drake for this, but we were just talking about how all these great artists do this.
Yeah, I'm not going at Drake for
does
doing
it too. I know,
Yeah.
but like that narrative to me is a shitty one, and it's just part of this like Drake smear campaign to me. And I'm not even a Drake stan. I like Drake, but like
Drake has his place like everyone else.
and like when he takes an artist and like puts them on, that's what he's doing. He's
Yeah.
not like stealing their song. Drake can make a song. If Drake thinks your song is hot and wants to do it with you, like that's a good thing.
Right.
Ultimately.
The one thing I will say against Drake is like, you ever have someone cheat off you in school and like put your name also by mistake? You know what I mean?
Yes. I mean, no, but okay. I know.
But you get what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
they copied everything you did.
Yeah.
When driving through the 6 and with
My
my
woes.
woes. Apparently, so the 6 is Atlanta.
Amazing song. But the 6 is also Toronto.
No, because of that song it is.
Wow.
It's got nothing to do with Atlanta, with Toronto. So he stole this guy's song, although...
Whose song?
Quinn. Remember the original like ghostwriter
My woes.
that Meek Mills exposed?
But is that
Quentin
like
something? So apparently it was like a reference track for Drake.
Exactly.
He was like, he wrote it and he said, yo, you can have it if you want.
yes,
But
which is the thing.
that's like me saying driving through the X for like the Bronx. And if you're from Florida, you just take that as Miami now because you're a Miami artist.
Are we sure about this? Wasn't he Six God? Hasn't he been doing that
Because
forever?
of that song.
Interesting.
That's all from that song. You got it. Because I asked my boy from Toronto, I go, why are you the 6?
It's also the 6.
Or our area
614, right?
Our area code has 6 in it. It's like, you were T dot. You were T.O. You had a nickname already. You forced the 6
Interesting.
thing. Because it's Atlanta has always been the 6.
Interesting.
Atlanta, that's their name. That's their nickname. So like if you took that song, you could have said driving through the T with my woe. Like if you would have been fine. Why'd you have to do the 6 thing? Do you see what I'm saying? Like you copied it directly. You didn't even have the creativity to change it a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, I can't help but think there maybe is more to it, but I know you're a pretty thorough guy, so I don't know.
Yeah,
Maybe
I've been known to yell about stuff though. I've been known to be
I have
upset.
one more music thing, and then I want to talk about some other stuff before we run out of time. Lynch, what are you thinking?
Just with a grain of salt from this Reddit thread. It says that Drake was referring to the 416, which I guess is an area code in
That's
Toronto.
what it is.
I said
And then he
614,
shortened it
416.
to 6.
Okay, come on. 6 is the 3rd number.
But your analogy really paints the picture with the test and leaving the name on it, just blindly taking it.
Just you copied all of it?
Yeah.
You couldn't even change the name. 416 is the 6.
You couldn't even change
It'd be the 4.
Yeah.
You wouldn't even be the. You could say driving through the 4 with my woes.
The 4 is funny.
It's the same
It's a
syllable.
fire song.
Thank you.
Probably my favorite Drake album.
Views, right?
If you're reading It's Too Late.
Oh, that's it. Yeah, I'm more of a views guy.
Yeah, because
Views
the
is my-
British, he put on.
Yeah.
Oh no, I guess the next one was the More Life was the British.
Yeah,
one.
More Life was when.
Did he have some on Views
Which one's
too?
Controller?
Control is on
that's in Views.
Yeah, Controller and One Dance. That's it for me. Those are my joints.
That was great because Views was like the first Drake album that everybody hated because they expected so much out of him, and then 6 months later, they're like, okay, this is fire.
Yeah,
Which
yeah.
happens with every Drake album.
Yeah, I think once Controller hit, everyone's like, all right,
Yeah.
we're partying.
One Dance is on it too. Is Pineapple on that too?
I think so.
Or that might be on More
What?
Life.
Pineapple? No, I don't know.
Also, the
on-
dance-
that's
the
not
dance
on-
shit
that's
is
not
also
on Views.
fire.
That's not on Views.
Everyone hated the Jersey Club music album.
Oh, it's so good.
Which one's that?
That is that the one with I forget what.
Yeah.
And if you're ready,
That's
you
a
can put it
great.
behind
That's a
you.
great album.
He just made a great track with Gordo, by the way,
Oh,
formerly formerly Carnage.
Wow.
Changed his name. I didn't even realize it, but he
About time.
fires.
See?
Yeah,
Now he's gonna go.
There you
up
go.
on
There you go. We'll see.
Carnage.
Going from
Martha Stewart don't want to hang out with Carnage. Gordo, she wants to cook for you, buddy. I'm telling you.
What I had one other music thing.
Honestly, Nevermind is the house music.
Honestly,
album.
never mind.
fire.
Great.
The
Great
internet
album.
freaked out.
Yeah, they're so mad at him.
All right, question
Jersey
for
Club, by the
you.
way, stole that from Newark.
Do you think I know you've been keeping up with the trial. I have not as much. Do you think Thugger will ever get out? And B, when he gets out, is whatever he drops going to be fire, or is it going to be a letdown like it usually is when people get out of jail?
Well, I was wrong with Schmurda.
Bro, he just got way too zesty, way too fast. We couldn't handle it.
It was a lot.
I saw Rowdy Rebel the other night walking on McDougal
Did you
Street,
really?
by the way.
That's great. I've never met Rowdy Rebel. I would love to meet him. Under good circumstances. Remember the interview where they're like, the meme was like, you're not prepared for when they zoom
like,
out, and he's just
dangling
talking,
his
and then
leg.
it turns out he's sitting like diagonally, like perpendicular to the chair, swinging his feet. I was like, yeah, you can't do that. You can't go from, what you were before when Hot dropped to this. It was just a lot. It was a big shift. Because of that, I think Thugger has so much clout. I remember being in Atlanta and it was like, up here, it was still kind of funny to make fun of him for being like on an album cover in dresses.
Oh,
and
bro,
stuff.
I was on the wave right away, by the way. Let the record show.
Yeah.
People were like, I don't even understand what this nonsense is.
I liked it, but you could still kind of joke around about it.
Yeah.
And I remember someone in Atlanta being like, that's the one guy you do not want to joke about.
That's crazy.
And people were like, you could literally make fun of anybody else in Atlanta. Once Big Meech went away, he became the guy no one would, like, you do not want to be seen or heard making fun of this man in any quarters in this city. And I was like, oh.
Yeah.
For real.
Which shows in the trial, probably one of my favorite artists of all time, just so unique in so many ways. But he's a bad boy.
Yeah.
The trial's progressing. I've been hearing sprinkles that people think maybe he's going to get out eventually. What's the update?
I think it's going to be like a hung jury type thing because it's gone on so long.
Right.
Yeah.
The label's going to outspend everybody, and
Yeah.
then he'll get out and he'll drop, hopefully, a classic.
Yeah, hopefully. And hopefully he drops an album with Gunna.
I would love that for Gunna.
Same. Because
I love Gunna.
is like a great track. Like his album is great.
Everything he drops is, I've always been a fan. I preferred pre-jail Gunna a bit more. It felt a little more unique sounding.
Yeah, like
Maybe
remember
it's
when
the
he
same.
did, you know that video, the YouTube series where it's just a mic hanging? It's called Colors.
Yes,
with a
bro.
U.
I put
When
the top out.
Yes.
Give me a house out.
That's what I was like, you've now set a lane for yourself with this rhyme style. Yeah. He had to do
Travis captured it so well in Astroworld too.
Same.
That was such a good song, Yosemite.
Yeah.
But anyway, so that's road trip music to me, bro. I listen to all those Gunna album, Wanna, and it's Wanna 2 or something or whatever. Like those 2 albums are, is it? Whatever those albums are, including the green one that has that track on it.
Fire.
And then the blue one that has that song Argentina on it.
Yep.
I listen to all that shit. And I would think that would be nice too, because he took so much shit for being a snitch. And like, it hasn't really mattered to the point where I'm like wondering if he has a person whose job is to delete cheese emojis from his Instagram. He may.
Yeah. I mean, he also is not getting pressed in public, really. We've seen like 3 instances.
So what's the word on the street? Is it that like, he wasn't a snitch, he was never involved, he didn't do anything?
I'm not that linked in with Atlanta like that, but I think I think the streets are just kind of dead.
But like, they're not dead if you're Tekashi.
He's alive.
I know, but he can't put out shit. He's not doing the tours like that.
But he's streaming. He's still hitting numbers on YouTube.
But he's in the fringes.
Yeah, he
Gunna's
is.
on tour.
Yeah, true. Yeah. Tekashi can't put where he's going to be next.
Yeah.
But I mean, he's still alive. I mean, all this, and he took down some real deal dudes. Like, you know what I mean? Like Gunna, and it, like claimed that his friend, the whole thing was that he admitted YSL was a gang. And that's the one thing that goes against
in the
him.
testimony.
Yeah, in his plea deal.
But like, did he get the blessing from Thugger? Like, do we know? Are they cool?
Remember, like,
has Thugger said anything?
Remember when AI first popped? One of the first things that dropped was Thugger leaving a voicemail for Future saying like, yo, we got to do an album and go after this dude. Like this,
right. It was fake.
And it turns out it was AI. I was like, oh wow, that's the first one that kind of fooled me.
But Thug is tweeting from jail, bro. Thug ended the Drake beef.
Wait, Future and
yeah,
20, no, not 21,
and Kendrick and everybody.
No, not Kendrick.
Not with Kendrick, but with all the Atlanta guys.
All the Atlanta
He's
guys.
like, make up a Drake.
Oh,
I'm
Metro
like, okay.
Boomin.
Yeah.
Yeah. He has sway, man.
And I know him and Metro have had their backs and forth, so I don't know how is it Metro involved in the like beef squashing too?
Yeah.
Okay. But anyway, that's so
How do you
yeah.
go back though if you're Drake.
Dude, these guys are like children. They start fighting for no reason and they make up for no reason.
How do you do that?
Because that's you like honestly when I don't want to say this out loud maybe, but like you need to learn that from your guardians.
Gotcha.
If you're in the streets when you're 10, you don't learn this. You don't learn that shit.
No, because I don't think I could ever make up.
How do you make up?
No,
You just came at him.
the Nork in me wouldn't let me
Yeah.
break bread with you ever.
Do you think Kendrick's gonna sing that song at the Super Bowl?
There's all this speculation about whether or not he's going to.
This is going to make the Super Bowl halftime show the biggest of all time because we're all going to be watching to see if he does it.
Is he going to do it?
Is he going to say certified pedophile during the Super Bowl
Definitely
halftime
not.
show?
They make them change the lyrics to stuff. But will he do the song? I don't know.
If you're Kendrick, do you do it?
I don't know. Probably.
You got to at least tease with just a dun 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 dun.
The whole thing put him back on so hard. I mean, he was always
It really
big.
did because I wasn't really
It made
a
him
Kendrick
mainstream
guy.
again.
I thought he was a great rapper, but it
Yeah.
wasn't like my cup of tea.
I'll listen to the album through, be like, it's great, and that's
Yeah,
it.
and then I did it. I'm
Yeah.
good. Yeah, Mad City, I get it.
Yeah.
But this made me be like, oh wow, I didn't know he had that in his locker.
And the last one definitely didn't put up numbers. And you could tell he was annoyed about it, which is part of the whole venom and the beef.
Yeah.
The whole thing just made me uncomfortable, to be honest.
Yeah, the whole thing was it was pocket watching. It was a lot of pocket watching.
Yeah.
going on.
Yeah.
What does pocket watch mean?
It's like you're worried about the kind of money somebody else is.
Yeah. You're mad. You're fucking.
Yeah, like you're beefing with somebody who's more successful for no reason.
Mm-hmm.
You could say
so you're
jealousy.
stooping?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I like this guy.
He's a good guy.
Yeah, he's a
Thank
good
you.
guy.
So, okay. Let's progress into another topic here.
My friends probably stole cars from your neighborhood. Now that I think about it, are you like Metuchen?
Somerset County.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Good time.
By the way, everybody, you got to watch The Penguin on HBO.
I haven't yet, and
I just
everyone's telling me
started it.
it's Sopranos.
It's fucking amazing. I mean, I've watched one episode. It's so good.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I am in the process of picking songs for my wedding for the various moments. So these are the things that need to be chosen.
I love you were like, one more music question. 7
I
music
forget
questions
what it even was. So we need to decide what we are walking down the aisle to, what's going to play once we're exiting, first dance song, and a song to enter the reception to. And then I also need to pick a song to dance with my mom to. So we're in the process of, I think we've done a pretty good job, but are there any rules that one needs to abide by in choosing all this stuff? I'll let you answer and then I'll tell you what our thought process has been.
So there's two trains of thought, right? Do you pick something that shows how modern and cool you are, but then it dates you? It dates you know, you rewatch the video in like 10 years and they're like, ugh, that song? Or do you go classic, which means you're kind of a little corny, right? Like you're not that, you are a very early adopter kind of a guy. You know, you're on trends before most people are. Like you're that kind of a guy. You're a creative. I still think of the Fat Baby, you know, videos you guys just do. You guys are like, that's who you are. So for me, it would be like, can you pick something that's like kind of modern, but kind of low key that not everyone would know? A little, if you know, you know, that even in 10 years, people would be like, yo, you was on that?
Interesting.
That's like 2 albums before we all knew who he was.
I like that too.
You know?
I like that too.
To me, those are the rules.
Okay.
I don't remember what my walk-in music
I'm
was.
adhering to a lot of
that.
that. I mean, a lot of the time there's like a fucking violin or Pasha Bell or whatever's playing.
Yeah.
We're not going to do that. But Lynch?
Okay, I was gonna suggest doing an orchestral or like an instrumental cover of whatever song that you guys want to do, regardless of if it's relevant to a wedding.
So like an orchestral version of like a hip hop song or something.
Yeah, you could do like, I don't know why, the example like American Boy or
Like
like Shining
Minnesota.
Lights. No. One night.
We can hit the heat. Yeah.
But something about, this is a personal preference, something about the old, like Here Comes the Bride is very like, it's mothball-y.
Yeah. It's boomer.
It's chamomile
Yeah.
tea. Like that's not your, that's unless that's your vibe.
No, yeah.
I have been rocking with chamomile tea lately. Makes the tummy feel good.
It's the best. It doesn't gas you up.
No.
It's really
No
peaceful.
energy. It's just a nice calming.
Just reminds me of a hug from my mom.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying?
My mom was
So if you want
much of a hugger.
a hug from your mom kind of song, you could go with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But what are there any parameters that you
Okay,
or
so-
Hill Dog have set before you even ask us the parameters?
So I sort of can't help but think through this like cynical cringe lens where I just don't want to be that guy. So like if I enter the wedding reception to like everyone expects that from me. I
Yeah.
can't do that. You know what I mean? So to me, I want to pick songs that are like appropriate and like meaning for the vibe. Like what do I want the vibe to be?
Right.
And I don't want them to be recognizable songs, but it doesn't necessarily have to be in a like, oh, he's putting us on way, although that is cool. But like, I like the idea being like vibey songs that aren't even necessarily songs that I love.
So I'm assuming you're going DJ, not band.
Yes.
Okay.
So like,
I'm kind of leaning now towards what you're saying. Like, imagine a jazz band just starts playing when you're walking in.
I know
Like passion fruit?
No,
No, but I'm not just saying, but like,
it is cool.
midway through the song, you're like, wait, I know that beat.
but slower.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which, by the way, that's the song I was thinking of, not Pineapple. Pineapple's a Karol G song.
Yeah. Passion fruit. Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah.
Slow stepping.
Banger. But yeah, okay. So like, so Hill Dog has done a good job picking some of these songs, and I've actually liked that A, they're songs that I don't know, B, they're like not on my radar, but they feel appropriate from a vibe perspective.
Right.
Because I don't want to be like walking down the aisle like I'm a monster on these hoes. You know what I mean? Like that's my favorite song, but I don't
It's
want
your
that.
birthday.
I don't want that
It's your
involved.
birthday. And I
Yeah.
was like, what the hell's going on? It's not even his birthday. I like that, but I also think like if you go singer songwriter, I've never heard this guy before, found him on YouTube or something. You kind of pay attention in those moments because you like don't know the lyrics to the song.
Yeah.
So you're gonna pay attention to what the song is while whatever you're dancing with your mom.
But I know the song at this point.
You do, but everyone else is like it sets a vibe.
Agreed.
Yeah, it
Agreed.
puts you front and center.
Agreed.
Because they don't know the song. They're not turning to their friend being like,
Agreed.
remember when this came out? No, you're.
It's like vibey ambient noise.
Yeah, 100%.
So like, yeah, I think that like the entrance song is going to hopefully be a thing that like represents what like the transition and what the music will then be for the reception.
Yeah.
Walking down the aisle, she had a good, and she actually like the post kiss song is also really good, but I was joking with her because like, I was like, we should not be cueing this perfectly because if it's like, like
Your
it
lips
does
touch at the crescendo.
Yeah, exactly. We don't want that.
Yeah.
And she obviously didn't have that in mind, but that was funny. And then we have those two, the entrance song. What was the fourth one? Well, the one with my mom, then there was a fifth. Entering the reception, mom. Is that it? Was there another one?
First dance with your wife.
Oh, yes. Yes, that's the fifth one. Sorry.
It's really important.
Which, yeah.
I was ready to say, no, you're good. Move on.
I know, dude. End of the party. Everyone grab your gift bags and get out of here.
So I don't want to put it out. So cut this because I don't want
Yep.
us to let people know. I don't want to like clip
or
it
just
out of the
bleep
back.
it. Do you have a paywall?
No.
Ah, dude, you'll
That's
find
a
it
good
on
page.
Patreon,
That's a
bro.
good page. But First Dance song.
That's my shower song.
Not my song. It's not on my shit. I like it. It's also old enough that it's kind of a classic. It's not obvious. What do you think?
I went with The Way You Look Tonight by Frank Sinatra.
That's nice. That's nice.
But that's because my wife is super Italian and from Jersey. So it made sense. It made a lot of sense. I like that. I like that.
Is it cringe?
No, I don't think it's cringe. It's in that pocket. It's in that pocket of not too old, not too new. Mm-hmm. I like it.
And it's also like, you know, the theme is linear. Mm-hmm. It's also not like, you know, that guy at this point is just like, you know, he's like an artist. He's like a generational artist. He hasn't put out shit.
No, he doesn't need to.
And he doesn't need to. And like
his clout will be the same forever.
And that's another good example of a guy where you're like, okay, he's not the best singer.
Right.
But it doesn't matter. It's like a complete package that you can't manufacture.
Right. I think the worst choice I ever saw was John Legend, Ordinary People, which is a song about not getting along. It's
right,
it's
that
a breakup
too.
song. Why are you dancing your first dance
right.
to a breakup song?
This is another good point, because if we were to choose Bad Bunny, neither of us fucking know what's going on. And for example, like Coco, which is one of my favorite songs, it's about sad shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
The 4 Latinos at your wedding be like, yo, why are they dancing?
Yeah, why exactly?
Yeah,
like, yo, this is fucking cringe as shit.
He doesn't seem like he's cheated on her this week.
Otra fili, otra cerveza.
Yeah, you can't. Yeah.
Can't do it. So anyway.
That's when you need a vibe translator. You'd be like, yo, the vibe's right, but you might not.
Are you sure you want me to translate this?
Yeah,
yes.
yeah.
She will leave me and my heart is broken and I'm alone.
I'm drinking a lot.
Yeah.
I'm getting bad into bad habits.
I am fucking all these girls. I don't mean anything to me. I just missing her, but this is the life I chose. Okay, so for the question I have for the song with the mom. So there's an Italian song that like reminds me of my mom, and just like it's a nice song too, and I think it'll be nice. But I worry that that's me trying to prove to everybody how Italian I am or some shit.
Your name's Giulio Galrati. You have nothing to prove, buddy. You've got 48 vowels in both your names. You have 0 to prove.
Okay.
Do it. In fact, there's something. It's almost like you're honoring your mom's. Your mom's Italian as well.
They both are.
Yeah, so it's almost honoring your mom's heritage in that moment, which to me is such a beautiful fucking thing. That's like if I played like an old Celia Cruz song when I danced with my mom.
Oh my God. La vida
es un carnaval.
Great
bro.
song.
Carnaval.
Okay, can I ask you about this artist? I discovered this song randomly in Ecuador, which one of my favorite things to do in my videos, which is a habit I need to change because then my videos get demonetized. I like picking songs.
Yo, throw it in the description.
I know.
Stop putting it in
This
the
song's
video.
called Noche de Copas. Yeah, put it in the description, right? And I forget who sings it, but I'm curious if this is a person. Maria Conchita Alonso.
I know the name.
Is she Cuban? She looks Cuban.
I can't remember. But the name is like something my aunt would bring up all the
it
time.
looks like an older, because I never have context. So it's funny. I learn things backwards.
Yeah.
Like I'll be like, who the fuck is Calderon, dude?
Yeah.
Why is everyone talking about it? They're like, bro, Tego Calderon. You need to learn about this.
Yeah.
Fast forward to me listening to every Tego Calderon song.
he was
Wasa Wasa.
Yo, bro, he was the first one to put like flow.
Yeah. He
wasn't
sick.
just like yelling. He flowed, bro.
He's sick, dude.
He was wild.
And he actually dropped a song recently that was fire.
Did he really?
Yeah, he's like wearing Lacoste and he's like on a tennis court and he like still got it.
Yeah. He still sounds wild dangerous.
Okay, so before we wrap all this up, I have one more question for you, and this applies to Lynch too, who's newly engaged.
Congrats, man.
In a hindsight is 2020 world, are there things that you wish you thought of or did differently on your wedding rollout?
On the wedding rollout,
Whatever that might mean to you.
yeah, I would say looking back now, I've been married for a very long time. My wife and I have been together since we were teenagers. Rolling back now, I look at a lot of the photos, or if we watch the video, it's like half those dudes that I'm like partying with, I don't really mess with anymore because we were so young, you know?
Inevitably.
And I think I made the mistake of not focusing enough on family and focusing more on like what me and my friends were into at the time. Like it was cool. Like after like the old people kind of left, it became like a club. Like we partied till forever.
Where did you do it?
We did it in Jersey at a place called the Brownstone.
Which is where?
It's in Patterson.
Got it.
But it's like,
shout out to the waterfall, bro.
oh yeah,
Fire.
facts. Silk City.
Underrated national park
But
site.
do you remember the Housewives of New Jersey?
Yes.
You know, like the two sisters that like they kept saying like the family was in the mafia.
They're like really tan.
Yeah.
Is Big Ange one of them?
Nah, Big Edge, but close to that.
Okay. Is she in that show though?
No, that was Mob Wives.
Okay. Sorry.
They were, one of them was our wedding planner. Like it's the venue they own.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, all the parties they would do at this venue called the Brownstone. It's like super famous. It was like the big house on like a massive farm, and it's now like this famous building.
Do they do like hard body sweet 16s there
Yes.
for like rich people?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly. Where everyone's like tan and looks 30. You know what I mean? And it's a quinceañera.
Yeah.
They don't ever use like frozen anything. All the food's like super fresh.
Cool.
It's like world renowned for their food. We did it there, but we basically made it into like a nightclub. And I look back and I'm like, I wish I would have gotten to, honor my mother a little more, honor Donna's family a little more. Just kind of like have that moment of like ushering away from one to the other. I think it was like so quickly wanted to. So I think like focus on you and your lady, and then focus on your family a little more than you think you might want to.
Right.
Your instinct's going to be to not do that because the day's about you, but it's like you're paying homage to your family at the same time. You know what I mean? Like that's who made you the guy that she wants to marry.
So I'm thinking about that kind of shit too, where I'm like, okay, like I haven't really thought about what am I going to do that day? I haven't like thought about any of that shit. And I'm like, I should probably like do my best to incorporate my close family into that, even if it's people who it isn't obvious and I don't constantly chill with them, but like it's a special opportunity to do all that stuff. So like include them even if it's not obvious. So
like I have my own place, so I didn't want anyone to like come by when I'm getting dressed before the limo picks me up. I'm like, oh, I'll take care of it on my own. I thought that was a misstep. It would have been cool to have like
the boys,
my grandfather making my tie and just have those moments. I remember my uncle pulled me aside. Everyone in my wife's family told her you don't have to marry him. Everyone in my family told him you don't have to marry him if you don't want to, except my uncle. My uncle is the only one who had like my side. He pulled me aside. He slipped something in my pocket and he goes, "That's for you. If something happens and you get cold feet, hop in a cab and make your way to LaGuardia or JFK, and I'll meet you there." And I was like, "What the hell?" And I opened in my pocket. It's Delta vouchers.
Hilarious.
He's like, "Bro, we'll go to Paris." He's like, "If you decide you want to marry her," he's like, "Upgrade your flight to your honeymoon.
Cool off for a bit."
Yeah. He just wanted to go to Paris with me, bro. He just wanted to go be a dirty dick in
Cubans
Paris.
in Paris.
Bro,
Just itching that you wouldn't be waiting at the altar.
He's like, "You sure about this one?" The whole time. He's like, "We could go."
Just walking down the aisle. Psst,
Yeah, come on.
He's like, "Wow, Unc, you booked a lot of stuff. Like you must have known."
Reservations.
couples massages.
Oh, wow.
Saunas? He's like, "I don't trust her," as I'm walking down the aisle. But that's my uncle was the only one who had my back. And I'm like, how cool would that moment have been like to have like the men in the family be like the ones with me, like as I'm getting ready, joking around, telling me stories. I did none of that.
Well, it sounds like maybe it's good that they weren't there because you would have ended up in
my
Paris.
uncle would have been like, "Look at this website. It's called OnlyFans.
OnlyFans.
It's crazy. bro.
OnlyFans. Oh, very good.
I'm a fan of many. It's not
I like
just-
all of them. Oh,
I wish I had more fans.
hilarious, dude. All good shit, man. Always easy to talk to you. You got a lot of good shit to say. Always a pleasure.
Dude, thank you, man. It's an honor. Thank you for asking me to be on.
Obviously,
this,
bro. Anytime. Let us know like where to check you out, what stuff you're hyped about right
Dude,
now.
if you got Paramount Plus, check out Golazo Network Monday to Friday, 8 to 10 a.m. I can't believe they let a fat guy talk about soccer. It's pretty amazing.
A medium guy.
Yeah, thank you.
You know,
all right, I'm lost a little bit of
the
weight.
efforts have shown.
Thank you. Then at Not Alexis on everything else. I'm gonna start putting out some more food content. Still more stand-up clips are coming out. So yeah, man, if you got time, follow me.
Oh yeah. Well, come check me out in Connecticut on December 13th at New York Comedy Club Stamford, 7:00. Lynch is going to be there with me. Should be a great show. It always is over there. And I got more dates coming up in some pretty cool spots. So I'm excited to announce some of these at Not Julio, at Oops the Podcast, oopspodcast@gmail.com. Send us your emails. Lynch, you got anything to add?
Yeah, check me out at Ryan is Really Polite for ticket info. I got a show in Jersey City on November 7th, and then 2 shows that next day, Friday night the 8th at 7:30 and at 10 o'clock. All info on my social. Thank you.
Cool.
Nice. Last thing, can you get this guy to eat Taylor ham?
I'll bring some.
Bring some Taylor ham for the boys. Sounds good. Alexis Guerreros, guys. Thank you. Goodbye.